started having our little banquets and what have you, trying to add to our program and recognize people who contribute, just as why we're here tonight, so all you folks can you'll understand how much we value your participation, what you do for us. We started presenting what we call a Active Leisure for Life Award, which is what our mission is, Active Leisure for Life. And what we've done over the years, I guess what, 7, 8, 10, 12 years? I don't know how many. I'm like Randy, I can't keep up time. We choose an organization that's gone above and beyond what we think is the norm to provide access and inclusion for the public through their job or through their personal lives. And we give it to agencies, we give it to organizations, to businesses. And this year we're giving it to someone a little different, I think, than some of our past, but a person and an organization that has really shown that they care, that they get it, that everyone needs to be included in life. And active leisure is part of life. And that's kind of what we've been doing for years, letting people know that we need to include everyone. Providing opportunities is what it's all about. Well, this is a businessman who has decided years ago that in his business he was going to create that access and that inclusive atmosphere. Not because the ADA came out and said that this is required, that slopes should be this or door pulls that, but because it's the right thing to do, and that's been carried into his business and it's been reflected in the visitors that he has at his business. And I'll quit hinting around to it. A lot of you will be familiar with it, some of you will not. He's one of those South Florida guys, down where the gators and the pythons and the cobras and all those snakes in the swamp crawl and critters that are a little bit not your normal cats and dogs, what have you. But GatorLand. If you've ever been to GatorLand, let me tell you, GatorLand is receiving our award this year. And Mark, the president, and it's a family organization. Come on up, Mark. It's a family-owned business, and Mark called me several years ago with a problem. And he said, I'd like a little help, David. He said, we want to make our new zip line accessible. And I said, pardon me? Zip line. We want to make it wheelchair accessible. And he said, I've looked all over the country, all over the world, and I can't find an accessible zip line. So if you look in the directories, you won't find an accessible zip line anywhere. That didn't start Mark, because he believes in providing equal access. He has worked hard for years to come up with a design that will accommodate wheelchairs. Threw away a plan or two, and I'll probably let you tell the story. Threw away a plan or two, dug back into the pocket, pulled out some more money, and invested a chunk of money to make his business accessible by. And you going to tell them a little bit about the project? Or should I tell them more?
Well, you can
okay, I'll keep going. All right.
I can't shut you up.
All right. Zip lines are big, phenomenal structures over the treetop. This is not Junior Museum. This is the real deal. We went down and did it. Well, let me tell you, there's towers. How tall are those towers?
7 stories.
7 stories tall. These towers are that you climb up to start this zip. And then that first step's a big one. I mean, it's a serious challenge, mentally and emotionally, to do that. Well, Mark wanted to figure out how we're going to get people up there that can't walk or aren't mobile. So we tried to come up with some lifts and some cable lifts, and we looked at military things and Marines things they drag people up in helicopters with and all kind of things. Finally, Mark says, no, we're just going to build a tower ramped all the way up. So there's no stairs, no cables, no lifts. It's going to be accessible to everyone to walk up it. Well, he's done it. And let me tell you what a phenomenal job that is. We're still working with Mark now to train his people on how to accommodate people with disabilities, which is not an easy thing to do. I mean, we deal with disabilities all the time, but there's so many abilities and disabilities, so he wanted to do it right. So we've got the Orlando rehab folks down there helping train his employees so that when he drops that sign and says, we're open, come on folks, we're ready for you. When Jennifer rolls down in her chair and wants to go zip lining, we're going to be ready for you. So anyway, Mark, for all you do and all you've done with your business, and it's not just the zip line. When you go through his park, it's all accessible and it's thought ahead so that you can see everything. There's no blind spots, there's no dead ends, no big missing links in the chain. Good job, man. Thank you so much for all you do.
Can you leave me a minute?
Yeah.
Thank you. First of all, I can't tell you how shocked I was and how humbling it is and what an honor it is to receive an award like this from the Florida Disabled Outdoor Association for a couple of reasons. One, I don't think we're deserving because we've got so much more work to do. We don't like David here. Our work's never in. And two, we don't do what we do for accolades. We try to make our park as accessible as we can because it's the right thing to do. We want to enrich as many lives with the experiences. We do a lot of really cool, unique things there at GatorLand. And we started this relationship probably, I think 5 years ago. I think it was 2011.
Okay.
And working with David and his team to try and figure out how to do this. And we have it figured out. We know how to get people out of the chair, on our zip line, zipping over alligators and crocodiles, like that high off the water, over alligators and crocodiles, and we know how to get them off the line back into a wheelchair. What we're working out now is a lot of the legal waiver information and then training our people to help people out of wheelchairs. We got to be able to transfer wheelchairs, and so there's a lot of training that has to go into it. My folks are zipline guides, and now we're teaching them how to handle folks in wheelchairs. We want it to be safe. We don't want any injuries, so we're taking our time to do it right. The important thing that I wanted to stress is through this relationship here with David and his team is now everything that we do in our park, our first meeting, our first discussion is accessibility. Are we starting from the ground up and making sure that everything that we're doing, that folks in wheelchairs or folks that have a difficult time seeing or hearing, are we making it where they can enjoy it? Just a quick example, we are, I would love to stay for tomorrow, but we're just days away from opening $1 million attraction in another park on International Drive there in Orlando, and it's a huge investment, and it's full of alligators, of course, that's what we do, and the fences, the structures that hold the alligators have to be 4 feet tall. So they're 4 feet on the sidewalk side. Well, we put glass viewing panels at various points throughout these exhibits so that people in chairs or people or kids or anyone that can't see over that 4-foot fence can see through the glass. Well, I messed up. We put the glass panels in, 4 feet tall, and I got in a wheelchair. And I started going through the exhibit because I wanted to see what it looks like in a wheelchair, and I pulled up to our glass panel. And at 4 feet, Jennifer, you'll know, the frame of the glass panel was right in your eye. At 4 feet. And I thought, oh my gosh, that was stupid. We redesigned it, re-engineered it, did a big change order, replaced all the glass in it, and made it 5 feet. So that people in wheelchairs can see through there. Thank you, but that's not what we do. We do it because it's the right thing to do. We want people to be able to see and enjoy all of the experiences that we have. So a lot of that philosophy has come from our friendship and our relationship here with these folks and with all of you, and we're really looking forward to growing that relationship even more. And again, thank you so much. I want my picture with you with this thing.